Hi everybody, this is a sweet little project that you can do if you like to make handmade ornaments. This is a project you could do with your kids or your grandkids or just by yourself. What I did was I made this little sweet little ornament using this paper clay. Super easy, and I'm going to show you how to do it. This is one that's not quite finished. I ended up painting this one, but you wouldn't have to. So I just pinched off, I'm just gonna do one. So I just pinched off a little bit of the clay and rolled it in my hand a little bit to make a ball. And then I'm gonna use just a regular rolling pin to roll it out of the thickness that I want. I have this beautiful little antique, I think it's a butter mold. It's just sweet little pears. So you want to roll it out a little bit bigger than the mold size and try to get it level if you can, and just kind of place it in the middle. And you want to press pretty firmly. If you make your rolled out paper clay too thin, it'll go right through, which is not what you want. So I'm just pressing really firmly because I want to make sure that I get all the relief into the mold. And then I just used a pastry cutter to cut away the excess. You want to keep this unused paper clay in a airtight, I just wrapped it in cling wrap. When you go to use it again, if it's dried out, just add a little bit of water to it, massage it in there. So I just wrap it really tightly and then put it in a Ziploc bag for later use. Okay, so hopefully we've got all the relief that we're looking for. Beautiful. I want to show you how to make the little ornament hanger with it. So I just used some green floral wire, not very thick, and a chopstick. And you just wrap it around the end, however big you want your round opening to be. And then I just turn the chopstick, makes a very nice fine twist. And you just, the end of some sharp scissors can cut through this pretty easy. And I straighten it out best you can. And then I this up carefully. And then I just kind of eyeball the center, and you want to just stick this all the way in to the wet clay like that and let it dry. And then I just let this dry on a sheet of wax paper for at least 24 hours, depending on how thick. And I tended to about, I don't know, 8 or 10 hours, and then I noticed it was kind of sinking, so I turned it over and let it dry on the other side. So you might have to try that. Okay, so once you have them dry, I like to put the relief part in the gold foil. So the white one's really beautiful too. I just did a little bit of sepia, golden sepia, because I like the kind of rustic tone. You could do whatever color you wanted to. If you've never gold leaf, it's super fun. You just need a gold leaf adhesive. It's just kind of a tacky glue that dries tacky, so the gold leaf will stick to it. And you want to kind of put, not where it's pooling up, but you want to put a generous amount on your, one thing I forgot to tell you, you might end up wanting to put a little bit of really light powdered cornstarch in your molds so it doesn't stick, the clay doesn't stick to the inside of your molds. So before I am putting on the adhesive, I just used a soft brush to remove all the cornstarch. And I'm going to put a little bit thicker glue on this time. This one has a lot of spots where I missed the glue because I was kind of in a hurry, but just take your time and put a generous amount. You'll want to let this sit for just, gosh, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or so once you get it all painted on there, and let it dry to tacky before you start to apply your gold leaf. When I first did gold leafing, I just gold leafed everything. I gold leaf mirrors, I gold leaf bottles, I gold leaf everything. It just is so much fun. Picture frames, you can buy cheap picture frames and do your own gold leaf. Oh, so beautiful. Typically, like in Italy, they make them. In Italy, they're famous for gold leafing too, and they usually put down kind of a orange terracotta colored paint that that they let dry, and then they put the tacky glue on, and then they gold foil over that. And the orange, reddish orange under glazing makes a really beautiful finished product because the gold doesn't go on completely evenly and it'll crack a little bit. So you see that beautiful kind of orange paint color come through. Okay, we're gonna let this sit for just a little bit and then we'll come back and put that gold leaf on it. Okay, our glue's tacky. It's still a little shiny, but it's tacky to the touch. I'm gonna leave it on this. It comes in these sheets. It's better if you don't try and pull them off the paper. They tear super easy, and so don't freak out the first time you do it. It's like so thin, but just trying to leave it on the paper. I'll just kind of, oops, already. So you can use a wide brush to just kind of press it into the glue, and the parts that you haven't used, I'm going to try and lift this and add it to that leaf right there. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like to waste anything, so. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over this bottom part and just add just kind of press it just really lightly. You don't want to pull the glue off. And then this should lift right off. Oops, left a little on here. Let's put this back on the paper so we can use it later. It blows away super easy, so I'm going to move this out of the way. So I'm just going to go over this with my brush and push it into the glue, and then also use it to take away the extra. So you can see it kind of flakes away from where you don't have the tacky glue down. Sometimes you have to go back over and kind of press it into where it might have skipped the adhesion. So pretty. I like the painted one, but I also really like the white one. And because my theme this year is white, I'm gonna probably just make the rest of these in, just leave them white. You can get really finicky and finish your edges with a wet sponge, but I kind of like the rusticness of it, so I left them a little rustic. And if you don't have, like I see the tip there didn't get a little bit of glue on it, but I kind of like that too, so I'm just going to leave it. I think the imperfection of them is also really beautiful. So there you have it. Beautiful little gold leaf ornament. I'm also going to do this little round one here and see how it turns out. This one was harder because it's super fine. But I think just even with a little bit of gold, they're so pretty. You can have a container that you keep all these little gold bits, and I've actually just kind of pressed them into other artwork. Like I said, I don't like to waste anything. That's so pretty. And then this little guy here too, that I'm just gonna lift a little tiny piece from the paper onto it'll stick to your hands, so the drier your hands are, the better. You can put a little bit of cornstarch on your fingertips if your hands are wet, or you know, if it's sticking to your hands. So can't really tell what it is, but I think it's fun anyway. I put a little hook on the back of this one. So this is a really beautiful, just simple gold thread. So you can just thread your little thing that you made by putting it into the wet clay. Get a piece that's long enough that you can work with it. I probably should have gotten a little bit longer piece here. It's twisting. There it goes. Leave a little round spot at the top. You can feed over a branch or whatever. I'm going to try and tie a knot in it. Okay, I'm going to try and get that tight so it isn't slipping around. Okay, and then I'm going to try and do a little bow at the top. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We